procrastination, when you're confronted with more of a list that you have to making lists is what I want to emphasize is best. If you make lists, then this is actually statistically proven. If you make lists and you accomplish things on the list, you'll finish them faster and you'll finish them more efficiently.
How will you exercise your imagination once you're back in the traditional route?
Once I'm back in the traditional route, I suppose it would be very difficult to exercise what I want to impose, but other than I can't break systems and I can't break rules, so I have resolved, moreover, to bend myself to fit the profile. So if it's necessary, then I will stay within my limits and stay within the border. Yeah, I guess that's the only thing I can do at the moment.
When you put together your presentation, what was the hardest part for you about telling us this story?
Well, when I initially made it, I wanted to emphasize what I would do as a politician, moreover, how I would accomplish the goals. And I understand that the goals set before me are very, very large. Most of them are so huge I can't even see the edge of the boulder with my peripheral vision. And I understand taking up the task of being a politician would be somewhat of a thankless job, but someone has to do it. And when I put together the presentation, one of the hard things was actually making each and every one of these individual branches. The second hardest would have been organizing this so it flowed. It didn't really flow very well in this one, but originally I planned to have it so my life skills, my MPX artifacts, and my career goals would all somewhat align together so they could all strive towards my goal of becoming a political scientist.
Going along the path and traveling through life is like the machinations, but what do you want to change? What do you want to make better?
First would be school systems. As we all know, there are the public schools and the private schools. Hopefully when I become a politician, I'd like to more have an equal benefit for all the students. So I want all the public school students and all the private school students across the nation, hopefully one day, to feel what I felt, to know what it's like to swim up the stream and accomplish what they previously thought was impossible, to see what's outside of the border more so. So hopefully equalizing that and having a good education for all the students would be my first goal. The second goal would be preventing war. Now that is a very, very difficult goal. It's no easy undertaking, and most politicians will cower in fear under their desks at the mention of the word war. But not me, I take the job knowing that it's not going to be easy. I take the job knowing I'll receive a lot of ridicule and a lot of criticism, as well as adoration for some part. But I'm still determined to take the job, no matter what it entails.
Obviously, while you guys have been in MPX, your friends at the school have also been in the standard panel. So I'm wondering if you've ever thought about, how would you be different if MPX hadn't existed? You're at the end of your 10th grade year. So what's different about you now? What would have been different about you if you hadn't been in MPX?
If I was still in the traditional system, my grades probably would have been a little better, to be honest. When I first entered MPX, it was very different, somewhat difficult for me to see the bigger picture more. But MPX helped me to realize, open my eyes, sort of. And I suppose if I was still in the traditional system, I wouldn't quite have my eyes open to that extent. I wouldn't be able to see all of this. I wouldn't see beyond the border. I'm sorry if I keep using the reference too much, but yeah, I wouldn't have this higher sense of attained knowledge.
Students, I haven't heard many questions from you. Are there no questions from you of your own peers? Come.
Well, I see that you like to talk in class, and you definitely like to debate, and you like to pick at the quirky little questions of life. Do you think that you're always like that, and what inspired you, or what shaped who you are to be like that? Because I can see that if you were a businessman, a CEO, a lawyer, that could be profoundly useful in being able to look at the world through that lens.
Well, as early as I can recall, ever since I can still remember all of my preschool days, I would always not like to go along with the system. I didn't like the rules that were imposed upon me, and I would always ask, why? To which I would give the short response, shut up, and sit back down. And I thought it was best when Neil deGrasse Tyson once said, in its first year of life, we teach a baby how to walk and talk, and in the rest of its life to sit down and shut up. So, I suppose, but what was interesting was that didn't deter me at all, whatsoever. So all the way up until my 8th grade year, I always enjoyed bucking the system, doing what I had to do. But up until my 6th grade point, that was just a blind want to do something like that. It was only up until my 7th and 8th grade years that I actually questioned why things were the way they were, and what I could do to make them better. And actually, that's more of what I like to do in my spare time. When I'm just at home, just sitting around doing nothing, I often like to think about the big tasks and problems political scientists like to face in their lives. And I always end up with the same conclusion: I don't know what to do. Having no formal training or college degree, I don't quite know what I can do to finish it. But I always like to look at statistics online, what to do in my spare time. So I suppose that would help.
Is there any project in MPX where you actually, you learned something new that you could use in political science?
Okay. When we dealt with the Panama Canal project, as I said earlier, we had to do a lot of research into the political structures of the United States at the time, and in a sense, it made me realize that the United States government there's as much shades of dark as much as there is shades of light, I should put it that way. That their light casts very big shadows. And when I say that, I mean, as citizens, there's a lot of ambiguity about our government, that things they don't tell us, things that they don't want to tell us. But I suppose as a citizen, it's more so that we have to have trust in who's in power. Moreover, trust that what they're keeping from us is, there are things that we don't have to know, just moreover.
We're out of time now, but Will, I appreciate you standing up and taking all those questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And